So place the heel to the floor and then the other heel. Now remember, you're really cinched up here. Your torso is hugging the floor. So we're using the weight of the legs to strengthen the torso muscles on the front. So the front torso muscles are being strengthened right now. I'm going to release my hands, and my hands are hovering right above my belly, almost like I'm thinking of squeezing a little circle or a ball right above me. And do 2 more of these, just these little marches. Choose your level. You can keep your hands down, you can keep your hands here. And then from there, I'm going to start almost like I'm walking. I'm going to reach that leg up higher at a slight angle, and then I'm going to reach a little higher. So I'm going to keep with the same motion, but as I start marching those legs up higher. And as you're doing this, you're getting through these reaches through the back of the calf and the hamstring. Let's walk back down. Always imagine I'm like a mime here. So I'm walking back down this kind of imaginary stair. The lower you go, the more you're going to feel your torso muscles kick in. Feel that. So the lower I go, the more that kicks in. Let's stay low for a minute. Keep through this marching. We're going to slowly start coming back up again. So let's march back up. You're really feeling this through those low abdominals. The transversus abdominis is a stabilizer, so that's wrapping around the center. And then some of the external core muscles in the front are also engaged. Try to keep your shoulders nice and open. We're going to go ahead and start walking back down again. Really push through the full length of that leg, like you're pushing a weight away from you. And again, notice the lower you go, the more you're going to feel your torso muscles kick in. If your belly pops, you've gone too low for you. Okay, so if your belly's bulging to the ceiling, please go higher with those legs. Find your range. Now let's see if we can reach both legs out and hold. We're just going to breathe here. If your belly's bulging, let those legs come up higher. Keep breathing. We're just going to hold this for a second. For those of you who want to, you can also open your arms out to the side without touching the floor. Breathe, inhale. As you exhale, let your arms and legs go to the ceiling, and exhale, open up again. Inhale, reach, and exhale, open. Use your breath. Inhale, and exhale. We're going to do 2 more of these. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to open. Hold for a second. 1 more time. Hold, hold, hold. Go ahead and place those hands on the foam roller. Reach one leg away. We're going to reach the left hand straight up to the ceiling and the right leg away. Take that left hand way back behind you, and as you do so, see if you can keep that same stabilization in the torso. So you might find that as you're going back, you want to lift your torso up. I'm trying to hug my torso to the ground against this load. Hold that. Now make sure this isn't too much. This can be a lot. So if it's too much, just keep your hand up. But for those of you who can, we're going to go back and hover right above the floor. Level out your hips. Maintain that, and let's let that opposite leg hover right above the floor. And we're just going to hold with that hover. So hold, hold, hold. Again, this isometric hold. Let the leg and hand come to each other, and then draw back down and find that hold. Chin to chest. Inhale, reach, and exhale, hold at the bottom. And again, inhale, and hold. 2 more of these. So again, if you've ever been on the Pilates Cadillac, we do a lot of these reaches with this bar back behind us to work on the upper abdominal muscles, being able to stay strong against the load of the arm. So that's what I'm working on right now, is this upper band staying strong against that load of the arm. Go ahead and come back through, and we'll switch sides. So my other arm goes up. I'm going to connect my serratus anterior, which helps connect that shoulder blade against the rib cage, and then reach the opposite leg long. Take the arm back behind you. Find that hold for a second. Again, you can go back up. As your arm floats back behind you, you should feel your rib cage almost sink to the floor more so that your rib cage doesn't lift against this load. You might feel your glutes kind of engage a bit. Let's do that one more time. Inhale. And exhale, your torso muscles are engaging against this tiny weight. And then from there, let the other leg lift, and we're going to hold. Keep your chin to chest, no tension there. From here, lift, and then as you exhale, lower to find that hold. 5 times. Inhale, and exhale. This is so simple, but really powerful. It's really great for your right-left connection. And 2 more. It's really working on that fascial line that goes through the front line of the body, and then come all the way back through. Take the ball into both hands. So I'm rounding my whole torso over top of an imaginary ball. Inhale between your shoulder blades and come all the way back up. One more time, really spreading that back wide through this flexion. Inhale. As you exhale this time, you come back up. Just reach the hands in front of you, gently squeeze the ball, and we're going to curl back and hold, hold, hold. For those of you who can let your legs hover above the ground. You can also bend the knees to you. I don't want the legs hovering above the ground to arch your back though, so you have to be really strong here to find this. Come all the way back up. We're going to do that again. So I'm going to go through this big roundness here. I'm going to start coming back through this half roll back. Once I find this position, I'm going to see if I can lift my legs. Now for those of you who can lift your legs higher, you can go ahead and lift them up and then lower back down a little. You can go back with your upper body, and we're going to lift up again. As you exhale, curl. If you want to go to the ground, you can, but it really depends on your range. So I'm showing you several different ranges to play around with here. And let's do one more time. Exhale, inhale, come back through, and now dive forward one more time, really round, 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 and you can go ahead and let that go. Walk my hands, almost like I always think like my hands got glued to the ground, and I'm lifting them up slowly. Now notice when I'm walking, I'm just bending the elbow and my shoulder a little, but I'm not destabilizing. My shoulder's not going back and forth to the ceiling. My torso is staying really strong. So see if you can find that. So just walking back and forth through those hands. Now from here, I'm going to take the one hand, so I'm going to take my right hand and see if I can start making some circles at the elbow joint. So my shoulder doesn't lift any higher. I'm making a circle through my shoulder, my elbow, and my wrist. I'm up against gravity with my other arm. Go ahead and make that bigger. So see if you can start making some bigger circles here, almost like you're swimming. So as I reach out, my thumb's going to go down and pull back and then go around again. So my pinky's forward here, and as I go, my thumb goes down to the ground. You've seen me play with this before, but get that rotation to happen in that shoulder, almost like you're swimming. And one more time, and now you can let that go. Plant that hand. Notice how, because that one side became really active, you became really strong on that side, how you shift your body weight. So now let's do the same thing, other side. I'll go this way so you can see me. And so again, I'm going to start out by just moving at that elbow joint. Nothing else changes, just at that elbow joint. And then as I play around, I'm going to make this circle bigger. And again, I'll slow this down so you can see my pinky goes down on the way out. And as I come around, my thumb goes down as I pull, and then my pinky goes down again. So see if you can make that happen, because that allows the rotation to happen in the shoulder joint. So again, almost like you're swimming here. See if you can find that. And let's do 3 more of these. So we're challenging a lot of muscles here by doing this. And one more time. Come all the way back through, and you're pulling your body forward like that with your hands on the rails. So I want you to actually see if you can find that for a second. Like if your hands are slightly out in front of you, imagine that you're holding on to something and you're pulling from under your armpits as you come forward. See if you can find that. So I'm going to pull from under my underarms as I take myself forward. You can lift your feet up. And again, see if you can find that little pull from under your arms. Okay? Because we're going to marry a couple of movements here, and I want you to be sure that you can find this particular movement. You might notice as you go farther forward, your core muscles kick in when you go forward of your shoulder. And then when you go back, it becomes easier. So the farther you go over your shoulders, the more you're going to feel those core muscles kick in and then back. Let's just try that one more time. So kind of pulling from under the underarm, and then you'll feel those core muscles kick in. And then we're going to roll all the way through, almost like a hip roll, back to that starting position. So see if you can find that dig under your arms. So see if you can find that. We're just going to do this 5 times. So going forward and back, lifting those toes. Now the more advanced version is to do this with 1 foot at a time. You can play with that if you want to. And then last time, go all the way back into that down dog position again, and breathe. And we're gonna do those squeezes that we started out with. I'm gonna reach the arms overhead or out to the side initially. And as I exhale, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze to center, even like you have a ball, a little ball between your hands. And then inhale, let it go. And again, exhale, squeeze, 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 like you're growing taller through the crown of the head. Inhale, let it go. And again, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Watch your feet. I don't want those toes crunching up on you, so think broad through the toes. Your weights and your midfoot to your heel. And let's do one more time here. Open and squeeze. Good. I'm going to go sideways so you can see me. I'm going to press down almost like I have a weight that I'm pushing against in front of me and lift up on those tiptoes. And then inhale, let it go. And again, exhale, push, 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 drawing deeper into center as you come up through the crown of the head, and then release. Inhale. And exhale. Deepen up on those tiptoes, see if you can find that, come back down. And again, this is where you might need that balance. So if you need to do single arm, that's fine. You can alternate arms, right? You can do one arm and then the other. Or if you can do both, see if you can find that. I know this is hard. And then do one more time, pulling down, down, down. And then go ahead and come all the way back through again. Put your feet out to the side. Like this, yes. And all we're gonna do is squeeze. So I want you to squeeze 5 times. So squeeze, hold for a second, inhale, release. And go back to that breathing. So remember the diaphragm, the pelvic floor, lift, inhale. The knees bend a little bit. Exhale, squeeze, inhale. And 2 more. Inhale. And 1 more time, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Again, it's almost like everything's wrapping into center. And then you can go ahead and let that go. If you need to put a pad under your hips, please do so. If you have a lot of lordosis, please put something under your hips, okay? So from here, I'm gonna engage my glutes, pick my belly up off the floor a bit, open my shoulders. Head is hovering right above the floor. Kneecaps are lifted, toes are pointed. Think long from the crown of the head through the toes, but the toes are touching the mat. And from here, I'm just gonna breathe. So I'm gonna inhale. And notice how it makes me want to lift. Go ahead and allow that to happen. Inhale. As I fill up my lungs, I come higher. And then exhale, melt back down. Do that 5 times. So again, inhale. And exhale. Go to the point that you don't feel this in your lumbar spine. For those of you who are more advanced, you can raise your hands off the floor and do the same thing. So it looks like this. And do 2 or 3 more of those. And then 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. Come all the way back down again. Walk your fingers out to the side so you're like a big X, like a big V. My fingertips, my thumbs go to the floor as I pull my hands back behind me and lift my breastbone up. You can also lift your legs up if you're more advanced, and as long as you don't get into your low back. Go ahead and come forward again, palms down. And again, you're gonna pull and lift. Your feet can stay on the ground. Inhale, dive back down. So almost like you're swimming again. So we're swimming, lengthening up, and then almost like you're rounding back through. And 3 more of these. Lift and come back through. And 2 more, lengthening. Use the back of those legs. If this is too much for you, please stay down and just use your hands to come through this extension. Completely fine. Okay, on the next one, we are going to go through this extension, hands to your sides. I'm going to inhale, lift up through that breastbone, push gently into the floor, and come on up. Again, if this is too much, you can also use the foam roller just to come up through your typical extension and back down. For those of you who can hang with me, we're going to come up. I'm going to lift through the back of the legs and dive my hands forward. So it looks like this. Now watch me one more time. As I go down, I don't drop my head. I don't do this. Okay, so please don't do that. I see people do that all the time. Your eye line stays up. And so as you go forward, you stay through extension. Okay, you don't drop that forehead. So you're just going to lift up through the back of the legs as you dive forward and come back. Use your breath. Inhale. Use the back of those legs.
3 more, and then last 2, and 1 more time. Go ahead and pull all the way back into child's pose, rounding that back. And you can move from side to side here with those hips. Walk your fingertips off to the right so you get a side stretch, and drop your left hip toward the floor and breathe. Come all the way back to center, and same thing other side. So both hands to the left, drop your right hip to the floor and breathe. Coming all the way back through again, and we're going to come back up into this all 4 position. From here, as you exhale, round, round, round. So you're deepening through the abdominals, chin to chest. And then inhale, let that go. And again, exhale, deepen, like you're being picked up with a belt right under your belly. Inhale, let that go. And 1 more time, deepen, deepen, deepen. We're going to take that over. If you want to lengthen that front leg, you can. You don't have to. And again, you can keep the hand down, or you can come up higher. And we'll do that 1 more time. So lengthen, and then come back through again. Good job, you guys. All we're going to do is stand up, and we're going to turn and do the same thing other side. So I'm going to turn this way. And again, you can reach up and over, again, like a standing mermaid on that box. Again, this looks a lot like some yoga stuff as well. And then we can do that 1 more time. Movement starts looking the same a lot of times. And then come back through. Good job. You can come all the way back up. Standing at the edge of your mat, we're going to roll down 1 vertebra at a time, bend those knees, and just allow your head to hang here. Deep breath in, and exhale. Go a little deeper. Soften those knees, let your head hang. Deep breath into your upper back, and exhale. And 1 more time, deep breath into your upper back, and exhale. Come all the way back up. Standing back up, reach those hands overhead. We're going to press those palms away like a neural stretch. Draw your chin to chest on the way down, and do that 2 more times. So lifting up, push those palms away, and draw your chin to chest. You're going to feel a neural stretch here. And do that 1 more time. Inhale to lift, and exhale, deepen. And you guys are done.